So I've just got a little bit to finish off. It doesn't matter which end I start because I'm going to have to sew in thread on both ends, and there's starting thread and finishing thread, so it doesn't really matter which end, so I might as well continue. So I'm going to go, keep my thread on the inside. There we go. So I've threaded it through to hold it in place, and again with younger kids, if you just want to do a knot, that's absolutely fine. Plastic canvas is really designed to be stitched all over, but I know that that's just unrealistic for a lot of the younger children, so, and even for me it does get a little bit boring just filling it all in, so this is why we're looking at alternative ways that we can do this. And there's my canvas that's broken, but for this stitch it really doesn't matter. And I've gone one too long again. Right. This is where you wonder if you've got enough wool to finish. Let's see how we do. And we do. We have enough wool to finish. So I'm going to take the wool to the starting place and tie it round to complete the stitching. So I'm just going to knot it in place. Push those ends through. Trying to make these ends look nice when you're doing this without filling in the whole area is quite tricky. And I think I might well end up gluing some of them so that they lie flat. But you can see that that looks okay. And then you can stick a background onto that if you want to, or you can just leave it as it is. So there's basically two alphabet types that are available. There's the ability to cut out these big letters. So these are 14 by 21, I think it is. And then there's the smaller letters, if I can find my... Oh, there it is. And these smaller letters, which are 5 by 9, I think it is. Is it 9 or 7? No, 5 by 7. So the idea of these is really that you sew them, but you could cut them out, but they'll obviously be very thin. You might want to add an extra row around the outside and make them too wide, 2 strands thick when you cut, because I think if you just make it 1 strand thick, it'll break incredibly easily. So the little letters are designed for sewing, and the big letters are designed for cutting out. And you'll see that most people, they'll do the half cross stitch and they'll fill the whole thing in, and then they'll overcast the edges and fill in the whole thing, but I know that that'll be too much stitching for some of you. The other stitch you can do, which is what these are here for, is this long stitch, and the only thing you need to work out here is where you're going to start and where you're going to finish. So basically this has been done to look like a square. So obviously the number of stitches there, sorry, the number of squares there needs to match the number of squares coming down. Otherwise you'll run into problems. But this will again quickly cover. Now again, this is one of the first ones I did, and I did it with one strand, and I don't really think one strand of wool is quite enough. But if you don't mind it looking like that, then that's one strand. This is 2 strands, but 1 strand of yellow around the outside. I can't remember if I did the yellow first or afterwards, but I obviously wasn't thinking when I did it. Plus I didn't actually have a huge amount of yellow. So you can see the 2 strands provides a much better fill compared to the 1 strand. And this one has been done just filling in that, and this one's been done taking a completely squared approach. So each square has been done. So this stitch again fills in very quickly. So you could take your cut out letters and you could do that stitch. You could go diagonally all the way across and then come down and go round, and that will fill up your shape pretty quickly. All right.